Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to mHealth Connect, version 2.0. My name's Scott Delp. I'm one of the hosts of the meeting, together with Ida Sims from the UC San Francisco. The goal of this symposium over the next half day and then whole day tomorrow is to improve the use of physical activity wearables and apps for clinical purposes, to really bring them to research and medical applications by bringing together device and app developers with clinicians and medical researchers so that we can address the key barriers to that issue. For example, at last year's meeting, we formed a team, academic industry team, that's focused on practical issues related to validation and accuracy testing. In many research and clinical applications, we need to have particular accuracy standards, and we're setting out a program for addressing those. The mHealth Connect event is brought to you by two NIH National Centers of Excellence in Big Data, and one of them is the Mobilize Center. I lead the Mobilize Center, and the Mobilize Center's goal is to improve human health and well-being through physical activity, and to address the limitations of physical activity brought about by a variety of conditions: osteoarthritis, stroke, cerebral palsy, obesity, and other health problems. In general, the center brings together people who have backgrounds in data science and biomechanics and public health and medical applications. And I've highlighted four of the folks who spoke at last year's conference, but the Mobilize Center really represents over 30 people, graduate students, even a couple undergrads, postdocs, staff, and faculty members, all dedicated to addressing this problem. The second center is based at University of Memphis, but includes investigators from over 15 institutions, MD2K. And they're taking the basic stance of trying to figure out how to gain insight from raw data and wearable sensors. And they're driven by two key application areas: smoking cessation and congestive heart failure. Ida Sims is here from the MD2K Center, and you'll learn more about that from Ida coming up. So the plan for today is to begin with a scientific session where we have an outstanding lineup of speakers. You'll hear more about that in just a minute. We'll take a quick break after the speakers, and then we'll have a panel up here that I think will be a very lively panel. I encourage you all to contribute and participate in that panel. Last year's discussions were really excellent, and I believe this year will be as well. There'll be a set of lightning talks to introduce you to the posters that we have. We had planned an outdoor poster session, beer garden thing, but the terrible California weather has put that inside. There's a beautiful set of posters set up across the way, and so we'll go across the way and have a reception and posters over there. So I wanted to, before introducing Ida, just thank Ida and Joy Koo for organizing this event, and Diane and Sharon, who are not here because they're outside trying to make everything work. They've done an incredible amount of work to make this smooth, and when you get a chance to thank them, please do. So with that, I want to bring Ida up. She's going to introduce the session, tell you what's coming up. Ida's a professor in medicine at UC San Francisco. I'll leave the agenda.
Great. Thank you, Scott, and let me add my welcome also to this event on behalf of the MD2K Center. We intended for this afternoon's session to set the context for discussion about how to bring wearables into clinical care and research. And to that end, we have a spectrum of speakers that you'll be hearing from. I have the privilege of introducing David Shaywitz, who will be our moderator, and reflecting on the broad perspectives that we need to bring together to address these issues. David, I think, is a perfect person for doing that. He's the Chief Medical Officer of DA Nexus and has over 10 years of industry experience. Also has an academic background. He's visiting scientist for biomedical informatics at Harvard and is a physician and an endocrinology specialist. And as you may well know, he's also a commentator on Forbes, so I think he really brings that sort of broad perspective and to stimulate some discussion, both from our panelists and from you as well. So without further ado, David, take it away. Thanks.